Hi everyone, I'm Dina and you're watching DIPARTICLE TV.
Now I'm very pleased to have you in this interview for DIPARTICLE TV. We are very small and independent, so it's like beautiful to come and speak to me, to give me the opportunity to speak to you, because I appreciate Vader very much. So it's like a huge pleasure for me. Thank you for that. We can begin with one simple but maybe tough question, if you're for that. So you're active for almost 40 years now, the band. That's like a lot. What would you say?
I know it is.
What would you say if you have an opinion about it? You will tell me now in a second. What changed in music industry from then until?
Uh, Vader and us, I mean the bands who was playing in so-called underground. So we're always living parallel to so-called music institution. So that was kind of independence. Nobody really cared about us, and we did not really care about what's going on in the music business. However, in the meantime, some metal bands and pretty much extreme bands, they made career. So probably nobody of them even were even dreaming about it. Mention just like bands like Metallica, Slayer, or even Behemoth from Poland. So these bands are still pretty aggressive, but they are now a part of like huge music business. And it's good or not, like everything. Everything got like a good side and bad side. The good is that the music metal is now more available for everybody. You don't need just to travel an hours just to visit your friend to tape some new songs to have it in your collection, like it was in the 80s, what I remember. So you get everything just like that. You can just hear it, stream it, record it, whatever you want. Same with instruments and everything if you want to be in a band. But the bad side is the people a little bit, I think, forget about the meaning of metal. So like it's too many young people who started to play in a band or just to be in the music, metal music, just because they want to make a career, not because they love the music itself. And you can feel it. You can feel it, and this is something I just do not understand. I'm trying not to judge it because this is not my life. I live same like I did before, just with better conditions, of course. After so many years, we finally got like a professional team, equipment, tourings, recordings, record company, and everything we wanted and we are dreaming about before. And we're still a band that can play a big show, huge show, but also the small club shows. And for the music business love the applause. Music business loves the huge stages, big money, and as I said, this is not bad as far as you did not sold your soul, like for that, you know what I mean. And the reality is like it is. If you follow the bands you love, you can feel sometimes that there is something missing, like in the meantime. But such is life. Life is a bitch, like somebody said. So I'm trying to live parallel to a business. Sometimes our ways cross each other, but we still can feel independent. And having so many new generation fans, after so many years been playing actually the same extreme music, I think this is the biggest achievements for Vader, and this is the biggest success. We do not need like anything. We do not need Rolls Royce in the garage or things like that. Like what do we have? We have respect from fans, and I never wanted to ask for more, actually. And I can live from that, so that's that's enough.
That's perfectly said. Really. What would you say was the most productive part of your career, if you have an opinion about that? A period of.
We're still busy band, and which means we're still producing something. We are productive, but how it is, it depends on listeners, on the fans. It's not on us. We just do what we do. We create music, we play music, feel music, and response is like it is. And sometimes better, sometimes worse, but it is, and that's the most important. And as far as we have the fans supporting us, as far this all makes sense, because we love what we do. But since we started to be a professional band, we depend on fans. It doesn't mean, of course, that we follow the trends just to make all fans happy. Vader is not to satisfy 100% of our listeners, of course. So we do what we do, and people know what we do, and they know what to expect from Vader, and that's why they are fans. you know, and uh, we are doing all for them mostly. That's what can I add?
If you could choose one experience from your whole career or the years, which was the most maybe exciting, adventurous, or something similar to that, what would it be?
You know what? I do not like to categorize, everything. Like which show was the best in your life, something like that. Nah, it's just we just, life is going on. We follow. We're happy if something is going good. Like if something is wrong, so we try to just to take the lesson and do not do it again. But would, life would be boring if it would be just filled with successes only. So sometimes you need to to slap in the face, or just to wake up and just to know what's up, just to get the trail back on get back on trail. You know what I mean? And same like me. I'm a fan of music, but I'm a regular man. Which was just put into some music business and became a little bit more known for some people. But beside that, I'm just a regular person with the same needs, like everybody, like you, like everybody else. So, so we're happy if we can play shows. We're happy with the people we meet every time in every country we were visiting in the last almost 4 decades. So that's good life. It's not easy life, but it's pretty good. And I think every step in that life was same important for us, because it's really hard to say what would happen if that wouldn't happen. So
The answer is really perfect now. What are the 2022 plans? I read about it, but if you could tell us more about the United Titans tour, please share.
yeah, it's actually where, of course, we're full of expectations. And first of all, we believe that the pandemia will not ground us again, and we can just hit the road again. And uh, starting in, we're supposed to start in January, but all because all this next wave of pandemia, everything was postponed, and not for long, because like actually we have to plan to get back on a United Titans tour with Marduk in March, so it's just a couple of months later. And but we're gonna start before. We start in Poland with a special tour. Which ten with his 10 shows, and so we're gonna try to remind the whole story of Vader and the focus a little bit of the very very early days of Vader when we are singing in Polish. And so we never did that though before. So we try just to make happy some the local fans in our country. A little bit, give them a little bit more than usually with a special setup. And then Marduk. So we will continue what we started in 2021, which is given a little bit from De Profundis. This pretty important album. So had the anniversary last year, and so many people they're still asking for that album, and just to play those songs live. And because of the situation, it's really hard just to do, systematically. So we have just to push everything a little bit in front. And this year there's like more anniversary. So there's 30 years since our debut album was out. So third album, 25 years, Revelations 20 years. So we old band, so which means like almost every next year brings something special for new generation of fans. Some of them never had that before. They started, you know, the journey with Vader with mostly with the last albums, and some of those first releases might be a little bit different. But that's why we try to play and remind them mostly for new generation, or to make happy some old pricks, old fans who follow us since the very beginning. There's many of them, and I'm sure that they will be happy to, you know, just to hear something we did not play for a long time or never before. You know. So we
Great.
try just to, so we try to still try to combine something from a new, which is new, fresh from the last albums, with the Vader classics from the past. You know.
Great. This is great because you mentioned the Profundis, and I wanted to ask you about it. In 2021, you reissued the album on vinyl. Yes.
That,
How, how was the feedback? Because it's vinyl, it's like the perfect choice, if you ask me. But
oh, of course, I hear you. And I think the same. And it was a long time. Uh, we had to wait a long time until uh, De Profundis was out in the vinyl format because it was never out before in this format. And so, in cooperation with Nuclear Blast, our record company, so we bring back De Profundis in whole formats. I mean, cassettes, CDs, and vinyl for the first time. It looks beautiful, and that's actually that was a few different colors of the album, and was actually sold on a spot. So I think that's the best answer. So, so many people they were waiting for that one. So we prepared a special master. We did not change anything, but we tried uh, to save the original feel, you know, on the album. So, of course, the original tape is gone, so nobody knows it ever exists, you know. So we try to use this technology from the past, which is white tape, and we retaped the whole albums just to give that feel. It's not, of course, it's not the same like you would do all the instruments separated like we did in the past, but still better than just copy, you know, digital copy of something we had before. You know, so people appreciated that, and you know, and so then we appreciate that too, and everybody's happy. So that's the way.
how many shows have you in your career? You have a
Oh,
number, approximate.
uh, you know, I'm still trying to collect all the shows we ever played. I got a list, and with every anything I find in the internet or from my friends or somewhere, I just put on the list since this millennium. So I probably have everything. The list is pretty much correct, but it's really hard just to find like all the shows we did between 94 and 98, I think. So this is still so many shows missing. But there is like one general thing. Since 1993, which was the year when Vader started to tour regularly, and we are playing for the very first time in the West, and that was the very first regular tour, the one with the Ball Thrower and Grave in Europe, then Dayside, Suffocation in the US, then a good big tour with Proletariat, which was pretty popular in Poland. You know, that was the first year, and since '93 we play average 100 shows a year, so you can count. So add all together, and you will find a number. Yeah, a lot, trust me.
It's a lot of.
No, it's a lot, really a lot. But that's the meaning of Vader existence. We exist to play life. You know, metal is to play life. Of course, we have a new album recorded, but we need those two new songs just to add them to the set list. You know, to play something next, something fresh. At least it was in the past, because now every next tour, it's a really huge problem just to take a choice which songs, because everybody's trying to to ask us to play again this and that and this and these. There's so many of them, and it's really, and we do not know all of them. It's like it's not even because we have new people in the band. That's because it's not possible to know all the songs without practicing them. Sometimes. And we're too busy, to stay in the jamming room and just to practice all the songs to know them like in every minute. That'd be crazy. I'd love to have a chance like this, but never happened, and I don't think it will happen. But so sometimes, like for the next tour, like for 2022, if we try to bring back the albums like Revelations or something, we always practice some new songs or something we did not play for a long, long time. So people are happy because they got something fresh. And so this is very important. And so we always mixed something which is a classic with something which is a surprise for us fans. That's what I love, actually, to surprise people.
I hope I'm not mistaken. You have 16 studio albums out, right?
Oh, please. And probably after number 5, I stopped counting them. So it's really hard. Vader was pretty beast. Like besides the full-length album, which were like a main in a discography, main points in discography. So we're known from recording many like mini albums, live albums, or something in the past. We're not that active lately, but uh, maybe we should, because like more and more people asking for bringing some new DVD or something special. And after pandemic time, when we decided to bring back some new editions or re-release albums like De Profundis in the last year. So this year with Nuclear Blast, we will uh, re-added Black to the Blind, a third album. So definitely it's going to be the beautiful edition. So uh, it was uh, it was released as a vinyl, but very very limited edition around 10 years ago by the Italian label. It was beautiful, beautiful version, just like not too many. It was like not even 500, I think, and it was sold in a spot. So this and so people are still asking and asking. So we definitely bring something special. We prepare the special edition just to give not just good music, but to bring back some stories from the past. From 97, 98, which was a time when we were like recording Back to the Blind, and all these shows and people. That's always. I'm talking always as a fan, and in my collection I have a lot of boxes of Black Sabbath, Priest, Saxon, and I love those boxes, with all this additional bonus things, albums, gadgets. I love it. So, and I know the way how I can satisfy and surprise Vader fans as well with some things like that.
Maybe this is a silly question, but do you have a favorite albums among all of your albums?
And it's such a silly question. I just hate that question because there's no answer from my side, because that's each album for me was the same important, because it's a part of a little piece of my life, some emotions from a part of my existence put into notes, and so each song, each album, it's like a picture of the time, you know, and this. For me personally, it's hard to say which one is best. The fans they decide. They have favorite albums. They love this or that, or they don't hate this or that. That's good. That'd be boring if Vader would have just one or two albums and the rest would be just like something not that important. But I'm happy if I see people and I talk to people who share emotions about like so many, almost all discography from different sides. Of course, we have some main albums like which are like called as a very important in the Vader career, like De Profundis, Back to the Blood, or the first one. But all what came later, same important. Just everybody take it the private way. So, but never ask me. It's like asking father, which kid from your family is your favorite. You know, it's,
Bands and artists have their opinions about their albums.
of course, mostly if they already know that a particular album made them happy and made them rich, they love this. But I don't think they would say that before. You know, it's like you know, it's like Rain and Blood. Rain and Blood is like an iconic album. You know, it's like a classic of classics in extreme metal. But I don't think like Slayer when they were recording this album, they knew that that's gonna be a milestone for the whole music. You know, because they made it different and bam, it was that time. You know, that people, that sound, everything perfect. And the same with every next album. You know, everything depends on the people, on the situation, you know, on time. It's too many factors that decide about, you know, the album importance of it.
You know, that time to time I like to ask those silly questions because I get the most perfect answer.
No. It's as I said. It's there is no there are no silly questions. It's
Well,
might be
uh,
just a problem with answering, but
yeah.
you know, questions are questions. You know, this.
I watched in Slovenia the last time and it was perfect. If you want to come back, please do. Metal Days is for me an amazing festival. So,
Oh yes, all right,
yeah.
we will.
Thank you very much. It was an honor talking to you.
Thank you. Hvala.
Yeah, this was Vader, guys. Thank you for watching. Please follow their work, and we are waiting for 2022 and your upcoming shows.
Yeah, we feel a hope that everything will be normal and we hit the road again. And we're gonna see you, meet you in the flesh soon. Bye.